The carnival stood on a hill overlooking the town. It had been abandoned for years. Locals called it Whispering Pines. They said it was haunted. Old man Hemlock lived down the road. He told stories about the carnival. He said it was cursed. He said that the carnival workers never left. They were trapped there, their souls bound to the rides. He said they lured unsuspecting visitors in and stole their souls. Hemlock said you could hear them at night, whispering, pleading. He said to stay away, especially on Halloween. It was Halloween night. A group of friends stood at the foot of the hill. They were looking up at the carnival. They were talking about the stories. "Do you think it's true?" asked Max. His eyes were wide with fear. "No way," said Sarah. She tried to sound brave, but her voice shook a little. "Let's go see," said Jake. He was the oldest and always acted tough. He started up the hill. He didn't wait for the others. He wanted to seem brave, but he was already starting to feel scared. They followed him, their hearts pounding in their chests. They were excited and scared at the same time. This was a bad idea, they thought, but they kept going. A rusty archway marked the entrance. The sign above it read Whispering Pines, fun for all. But the letters were faded and peeling, and one of the ends was hanging upside down. The carnival was a graveyard of delights. The Ferris wheel stood frozen in mid-turn. Its carriages swung gently in the breeze. The carousel was silent. Its painted horses were chipped and faded. The air smelled of damp grass and cotton candy, but it was a stale, rotten sweetness. A chill wind howled through the grounds. It sent shivers down their spines. They felt like they were being watched, but they couldn't see anyone or anything. Not yet. Section 4. The show begins. They reached the main tent. It was a large, striped tent. It was torn in several places. The wind whistled through the holes. The entrance flap moved slightly, inviting them in. Max took a step closer. He peered inside. He couldn't believe his eyes. The lights flickered on. The generators sputtered to life. The music started. It was a calliope tune, but it was slow and distorted. It sounded like a music box that had been left out in the rain. "This is crazy," whispered Sarah. "We should go." But nobody moved. They were frozen in place. They were captivated by the eerie beauty of the carnival. Section 5. Whispers in the dark. From the shadows they heard a sound. A faint whisper. It was coming from inside the tent. "Help us," it whispered. "Help us." They took a step closer. Their blood ran cold. They could see figures in the shadows. They were just barely visible. They were the outlines of people, but they were translucent, like ghosts. The whispers grew louder. More voices joined in. They were pleading, desperate. The figures in the shadows began to move towards them. They reached out with long, slender fingers. "Let's get out of here!" shouted Jake. He turned and ran, but the others weren't so lucky.